Hi, everyone. So my name is Matt, and today we are going to talk about some IELTS summary. So this is going to be short. It's going to be a few minutes, okay? And it's going to be recorded so we can take a look at it in closely, and people who are not in the workshop can actually view it on the website, okay? The website is therightsolutions.ca, okay? And I'm going to post in the blog and the YouTube as well. Okay. So let's get started. I'm using the Cambridge textbook today. Okay. And we're going to be talking about the IELTS. We're going to be talking about the IELTS summaries. There's four parts to it. There's reading, listening, there's also writing, and there's also speaking. Okay. The other workshops will concentrate on the individual sections, but today we're going to be looking at the IELTS summary as a whole, okay? So this is going to be geared to academic, okay? The IELTS academic module, okay, can be used to undergraduate or postgraduate studies. Undergraduate means that just a degree, usually a four-year degree or even college. A postgraduate usually means a master's or doctorate or any other postgraduate studies after you get your degree, okay? It also can be used for professional reasons, okay? IELTS can be used, those grades can be used to enter college or university. You do need a specific score to get into individual universities and such, okay? But you can also use it for professional reasons. These professional reasons could be getting a citizenship, or you need a job, okay, in business or anything like that, okay? So maybe that is one of your goals. So in academic reading, it's going to be 1 hour. This includes the time needed to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now, there are two different kinds of tests. It could be online, but also could be paper-based, meaning that it's going to be in person, okay? Some different tests or test takers might have different rules, just minor rules, such as the time. If it's online, they may give you extra time to transfer your answers. But if it's on paper, obviously they might not, okay? But one tip you need to know is that if you're doing it online, please, if they do give you extra time, try to save your answers until you get your scores. There are some things that might happen. So I'm going to share my screen now, okay? So there's things that might happen, okay, that, for example, there are going to be, let me just double check, share screen, okay? Yes, it's the correct one, okay? So they may be missing your test sheets. There might be some IT issues or some technical issues, and it might go missing. I've taught IELTS for many years, and it has happened, okay, both in person and online. So please be careful about that. Now, we're going to talk about the reading, okay? Now, the reading will consist of 3 different texts. We're going to be talking about the 3 different texts in a different workshop, as again, this is just a summary. And there's going to be a total of 40 questions. These texts are authentic and academic in nature, meaning that it's not specialized, meaning that it's also going to be kind of like pre-college or what you see in a maybe first year or beginner level introductory course in university. It's going to be written for a non-specialist audience, as I said, college or the beginning of an introductory level of university level, okay? There are similar types as you will encounter in college or university, okay? They might be descriptive or argumentative. Descriptive means just describing the text, meaning that it will describe an item. Argumentative means that it may have an argument to prove. This essay will argue, or the author argues that this is better than that, okay? It may also contain logical arguments, as I said, this argument, for example, climate change is real, and the primary cause of climate change is carbon emissions. Now, that person will have a logical argument. For example, during the 20th century, there was an increase of temperatures, rising temperatures, but there's also an exponential increase in the carbon emissions. So one connection connected to the other, okay? One cause and the effect, okay? It can contain illustrations. If a text contains technical terms, a simple glossary is provided. Now, a glossary is just a small dictionary. It'll define the terms of some technical terms, okay? For example, carbon emissions. Carbon emissions might be defined as the pollution or some kind of pollution caused by the emissions of carbon, or, for example, a car or a factory. Climate change might be the rising of temperatures or the changing of the global temperatures, okay? Not just the weather, but the climate. Climate is a general and a long-term effect. The weather could be like daily or weekly, okay? There are going to be 3 texts graded from most of the time. The easiest is going to be the first, and the most difficult is going to be the last, okay? So it's going to be 3 texts. For example, 3 passages. So you have about 20 minutes to just do one passage. I would suggest that you do maybe 15 minutes for the first one, 20 minutes for the middle one, and 25 minutes for the last one, because it will get harder. So it's going to be about 12 to 14 items per text, okay? So overview of text type. The most common will be multiple choice. As I said, you might choose one answer, alternatives from A to D, choose 2 answers from alternatives A to E, or choose 3 answers from alternatives A to G, okay? So it's going to be 1 mark per question. Now, if it asks for 2 questions, 2 answers, and you get 1 right and 1 correct and 1 wrong, they'll mark 2 as wrong. You have to get all 2 and all 3 of them. True, false, or not given, okay? This is finding the statement to be true or false or not given. Now, these are tricky because sometimes multiple choice questions will mention all of the answers. For example, how do you travel to work? And it has car, train, or bike. Okay, it might say that I don't travel by car because it's too expensive. I don't travel by bike because it's too far. I travel by train. Okay, so it has 2 negatives and both positives. So the correct answer will be train. You will think that the correct answer will be one of those that's spoken, but because they try to trick you and have it in a negative, that's why they'll try to trick you, okay? Identify information, true, false, not given, as we said. What's similar is yes, no, not given. That's similar to true, false, not given. Now you have to match information to a paragraph to the text. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But they may say that you may match more than 1 per answer, meaning that it has 1, 2, and 3. So you may use answer A twice. And if it does say that, you're most likely going to do that. Matching headings is going to be 1 answer per 1 heading, meaning that 1, 2, and 3, A, B, and C. It's not going to be the same. There's not going to be 2 A's. So you can cross it out once you've matched it. And also, if you don't know the answer, you can skip it. And if you cross out more than 1, you'll have less possibilities and a higher percentage chance to figure it out, okay? You can also do that multiple choice. You say that A is definitely not correct. It could be B or C. So you have 50-50% rather than 33%, okay? Matching sentence endings, okay? Complete a sentence by choosing a suitable ending from a box of possible answers. Okay, that's going to be similar to matching headings. Sentence completion, they're going to give you the beginning of the word of the sentence, and you're going to complete it with the word that's given or a word limit. So for example, 1 word, 2 words, 3 words. But we're going to take a look at that later. Okay. Note, summary, table, flowchart, completion. This is where you're going to get a table or summary or flowchart, and you have to fill it out with the suitable words from the text. Okay, so let's move on to the labeling and diagram. So you label a diagram with a suitable word. They'll give you a diagram, and you have to fill in the word, and you have to read where it goes. Short answer questions, answer the question using words from the text. Okay, and each question is worth 1 mark. Those are the types of questions. Now, number 1 is always going to be the most common, and number 11 is going to be the least common. But please, we're going to go through these all together. We're going to go through every single one and every single type in these free sessions. However, these sessions are going to be half an hour each, and we're going to have them daily. Okay, so we're going to have them daily, and we're going to post it on the YouTube so everyone can watch. All right. So academic writing. This test consists of 2 separate writing tasks. You must answer both tasks. Again, we're going to take a look at that again on the free workshops. But let's take a look at this. Okay, this test consists of 2 separate writing tasks. You must answer both tasks. Task 1, writing task 1. Timing, 20 minutes. Length of words, 150 words. What do you need to do? You need to accurately describe and summarize visual information. Okay, visual information means it's going to be from a diagram, from a map, graph, or table. We're going to take a look at this very closely at some other time. Writing task 2 is a little bit different. It's going to be 40 minutes and you get 250 words. Now you can do writing task 2 because writing task 2 is worth 66% of your task, of your mark, while writing task 1 is worth 33%. Now this is more like an essay, okay? You'll be given an opinion, problem, or issue that you need to respond to. There's going to be types of questions, and I'm going to go through each type, okay? One by one, daily, we're going to do this, okay? So stay tuned to the channel. Every day, we're going to spend about half an hour to do this, and it's going to be episodic, meaning that every day we're going to be doing something different, and it'll connect to it. Okay? It's going to take a long time, and you'll have to study for a long time, but I guarantee you'll get a better mark. Okay? You may be asked to provide a solution, evaluate a problem, compare and contrast different ideas, challenge or an idea. Okay? So you'll be assessed on the following criteria: task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammar range and accuracy. Okay? As I said, writing task 2 is worth twice as much as writing task 1. Okay? Now, even though we do have the same rubric for writing task 1 and writing task 2, you complete them differently. And we're going to be discussing that when we're talking about writing task 1 and writing task 2. How do you answer it? Okay? Now, listening. Listening is going to be approximately 30 minutes, plus an additional 10 minutes, okay, to transfer your answers. Academic and general training candidates take the same listening test. They have 4 sections and a total of 40 questions. Section 1 and 2 are set in social context, and section 3 and 4 are set in academic context. In the IELTS listening, you will hear the text only once. Each section is gradually more difficult than the test and is divided up into the following. Section 1, a conversation between 2 people about a general topic. Now, this is the easiest one because it's about a general topic. But for example, finding out information about travel. Okay? This may be encountered in your everyday life. Calling a travel agency. booking a travel agent, booking a trip. Most of international students have already done this because they travel to Canada. Some of you may or may not have traveled, but think about that. Or you want to order something, okay? Think about ordering something in a cafe or food, okay? Everyone has done that before. Now, number 2 will be a monologue. Mono means one, log means talk, okay? So this one person is talking about a general topic. Okay, for example, giving information about an event, describing a park, describing a historical place, describing a country, okay? Something that's going to be general but not academic. Now, section 3 and 4 will be academic, and it's going to be harder. A conversation between 2 or 3 people in an academic context. For example, a student and a tutor discussing an academic problem. Now, number 4 is going to be the hardest. It's going to be a monologue in an academic context, for example, a lecture. Now, if you're doing a TOEFL test, there are a lot of lectures, okay? But we'll do that after we've completed our series of IELTS. There are then 10 types of questions for each section, okay? And 1 mark each. So even though section 1 is the easiest, they're all worth the same. So please try to practice more. Try to practice some endurance and things like that, okay? Because it's going to affect the grade, okay? Now, the first type of question is going to be the most common. Not only that, it's going to be most common for section 1. For example, notes, summary, table, flowchart, completion. This is to complete notes, a summary, or table, flowchart with the suitable words or words within the limit given. Multiple choice, again, very common. Choose 1 answer from alternatives A to C. Choose 2 answers from alternatives A to E. Short answer questions. Answer questions in the word limit given. Sentence completion. Complete a sentence with a suitable word or words within the time limit given. Label a diagram, plan, or map. Label a diagram, plan, or map with the suitable words or words by choosing from a box of possible answers. Classification. Classify the information given in the question according to the 3 different criteria. This might be dates, names, types, etc. Matching. Match a list of statements to a list of possible answers in a box. For example, people, theories, or dates. Okay? Each question is worth 1 mark. Okay? So we're going to be talking about speaking, not in this lesson, okay, but in another lesson. We will be talking about speaking. Okay? If you do have any questions, please write to me on the comments below in the YouTube channel or on the blog post, Instagram, Facebook, or anything like that. Okay?